Greetings, geniuses. This video is going to cover another topic from the INFJ perspective, as usual. And I'm going to talk about my self-development addiction. Do you have one as well? Are you an INFJ? Or are you just crazy about improving yourself? And could be any personality. That's not personality specific. But I'm going to be talking about it from my perspective and sort of the lifelong journey that it's been. And I guess it just seems to get more and more interesting as I go, because I'm really realizing this year that I can't stop. I just got to keep going and improving myself. And I feel like the further that I get along, the more excited and passionate I get about improving myself, because I can look back farther and farther in hindsight and see how far I've come. So there's just a few things that I want to talk about self-development that I feel are must-haves for anyone who's trying to improve themselves, because even though I'm going to be talking from the INFJ perspective, because that's my personality type, I have also learned that there's certain things that I think are non-negotiable no matter what your personality is. And what I mean by that is things such as diet, exercise, sleep, less drama from too many people or stress. And of course, there's always going to be stress. There's always going to be some kind of drama. But what I mean by that is basically tuning out the distractions. You have to get rid of as much of the noise as possible in your life in order to improve yourself. And I've definitely gone into that one recently. You can find other videos and topics that I've talked about those kinds of things. Maybe I'll talk about it more in this video. But let's talk about diet and exercise and just taking care of your physical body, because I've gone back and forth many times with the whole workout routine. Maybe not so much eating right. That's always been back and forth a lot. And it's tough for me because I love food. I love tasty food. And so whether it was putting a bunch of mayonnaise on a sandwich or eating, I don't know, fatty meat or potato chips that I liked, different chips, chocolate, I love chocolate, having that extra cup of coffee with cream and sugar or just lots of cream, you name it. I love food, and that has probably been the slowest progress, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to compare, but I've very gradually over time learned and seen how eating, drinking the different foods has an effect on not just how your body replenishes itself and rebuilds new cells, all that kind of stuff, which it does, but just how I feel when I eat better. And the last few years, I've really learned so much more about the toxic stuff that is in the food that we are sold and drinks. And don't take it from me. Don't take anything from me, please. Research it for yourself. But the things that you will find out that is sold to us, and we're talking hygiene, beauty products as well, you'd be amazed. And it's pretty sickening, actually. But until you realize that and put two and two together, you're just not going to get it. And it doesn't matter if you're an INFJ or what personality you are. We've been living in the world we've been living in our entire lives. And so there's lots of things that seem normal to us. It's the way it's always been, and it's really upside down. And so again, don't take my word for it on anything like that. You have to look into it for yourself. And I've really been a bit shocked and amazed myself just when I finally said, you know what? I hear all these people talking about it, and quite a few of them are close friends. I'm going to take their word for it and look into it. And boom, boom, and bam. I found plenty of stuff that was valid. And even if I got to a point where I decided I'm kind of bored with this topic, which it's not that fun or necessarily interesting for me, other than once I get to the point where I feel I've learned enough information to apply it to my life, which I have. And basically, the point that I got to is that I want to eat and consume naturally as much as possible. And it doesn't matter what it is. So I've slowly been going through observing the things that I buy and use. And it's been a slow process of switching stuff out. And 100% I feel better. Maybe 200%. And so that's the short moral of the story there. And again, it's not like we're talking about one product or one thing. It depends on you. It depends on what you buy, what you use. And you just have to do the research. You have to look into it. And you have to make those decisions for yourself. So that's kind of touching on diet too. Like I said, the phrase, you are what you eat, there's a lot of truth to that, because our body can't replace the cells, replace our entire bodies without the nutrients. And I'm no biologist or anything like that, or physiologist. I don't even know what the right term to use is. But you know what I'm getting at. We need the proper nutrients to have functioning bodies that renew themselves. So it's just a no-brainer. The more that you think about it, yes, diet is a must in order for you to feel your best. And so if you're not doing that, then to some degree, you're sabotaging yourself right there from the start. So that's enough of that one. Now let's move on to exercise. What I've noticed about exercise from my many on and off sessions, whatever you want to call it, of getting into a workout routine, maybe for a few months, and then stopping on and off, that's been the norm for me in my life, is that, again, a no-brainer. I felt so much better when I was active and working out on a daily basis. And it has to be a daily routine. And yes, I do think that you need to take a break maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week if it's been a crazy week. But it has to be the daily mindset. And at least that's how it works for me. I just plan to work out every day. And if I have a long day or too much stress or something, and I know I need to skip that day, then okay, I do it. But it's just for that one day, with the mindset of I'm going to get right back to it tomorrow. I'm not going to lose any momentum, and you just keep on going every single day. That's what works for me. I know everybody has different feeling on that and strategy, so that's okay. But I just say that because I think the mindset is the most important thing. And because it's so easy to skip a few days, and then you skipped a week, and then, whatever, I'm done. And that is one of the main things that everybody goes through to some degree. So, but as far as the self-development side, what I've realized is also the longer that I'm in a workout cycle of doing it daily without stopping, I feel better and better and better. And like you look better, you feel better, and it actually is like a physical representation of you developing. So I don't say that because it's not about looking good and ooh wow, people are impressed with how in shape you are and an ego thing. It's undeniable. You're probably going to feel better about yourself and how you look, but that's okay. It doesn't mean you have to be on an ego trip or something. That's a whole other subject. But you will feel better about yourself, and you will actually feel and see yourself developing. So if you're talking about self-development, well, hello, you can see it happening if you're exercising every single day. And it takes a little while to get going, and you just have to be a realist on that. The first month, maybe even 2 months, you probably won't see that big a difference. But once you've gone 3, 4, 6 months, it's really noticeable. And of course, it has to go hand in hand with diet. Otherwise, you're just going to replace all the calories and fat, obviously. So those two, diet and exercise, go hand in hand, and it has to be a daily mindset, like I said. But I've been loving it. The more dedicated I am to myself and the better that I do with it, like I said, it's like a domino effect, and it just gets more enjoyable because I feel better, I look better, and all of that. And then I guess the last thing I wanted to cover in this video was rest, sleep. I've found some natural supplements that help me sleep, and I don't have to take any of the drug and toxic stuff in order to force myself to get sleep. And once again, you have to look for that stuff. It's not going to jump out at you in the store or whatever. And you don't even have to buy anything. Of course, exercise is going to help you rest a little better. And maybe you need to exercise a little bit harder if it's not making any difference, because obviously if you get yourself tired out or get some good cardio, then that's going to help. But I've worked and lived enough without sleep in my life to know that that was some of the worst quality of life I ever had, no matter what was going on at the time, when I was only getting a few hours of sleep. So, and I've known plenty of friends who thought they were too tough for sleep, and whatever, I don't need sleep, that kind of attitude. And I was there too when I was especially late teenager, early 20s. So I know the mindset. I know you think you're cool if that's you, but again, you're just sabotaging yourself, because it's just a no-brainer. Are you going to function better as a human being with a couple hours of sleep or 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep? It's just a no-brainer. Can you survive on almost no sleep? Yes, you can wake up and still walk around, talk, and even get work done. But are you going to be your best? No. So those are some of the self-development tips that are going to apply to you, no matter what your personality is, and no matter where you're from, age, sex, any of that. And I know they're super basics, but the reason I want to talk about it is because everybody screws it up, including myself. So if you don't deal with the basics and figure out how to improve those things, then good luck with the hard things, because you're still going to be spinning your wheels on not enough sleep or feeling like crap because of what you ate the night before, and so on and so on. So I feel like this video was kind of like a lecture, but maybe it was a lecture to my earlier self, because it took me way too long to realize it and implement it more. But I hope this video was helpful for you and just talking about these things. And I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear any suggestions you have for future videos. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Genius.